Hello, I'm Maxxx Pleasure, and I want to talk about the process of creating a drag performance. The process of creating a new drag number can seem really daunting. That's why I like to break it up into 3 separate chunks. Of course, you have to think about the whole thing all together, but tactically, I like to do one part and then move on to the next. Each of these 3 blocks are made up of 2 parts. First, we have brainstorming and planning. Then we have building and practice. And then finally, backstage and performance. So the first part, brainstorming, is really the easiest because it's literally just fantasizing. Once I've let a theme or a topic or like a symbol or a motif sit around in my head for a while and I've finally found the music to match, that's when I'll sit down with a piece of paper and start jotting down notes and ideas. So I'll think about the song's artist, time period, choreography, blocking, costumes. I'll think about colors. I'll think about the song's lyrics. I'd like to ask myself, if this performance was a number in a musical, what would it be like? If I had a theater tech budget, what stunts would I pull? I even ask myself, if I had magical powers, what would I make happen? Really let your imagination run wild. We're gonna reel it in and get more practical in the next step, which is planning. So now that you've nailed down your whole idea for the performance, you have to sit down and figure out what edits need to be made to the music. What props do I need? What costume pieces am I gonna wear? What kind of choreography and blocking do I need to figure out? The answers to these questions are going to turn into your to-do list. So get another piece of paper and write those down. And that to-do list is going to guide you through the next block of the process. Scheduling is really key at this part of the process. You want to make sure you have enough time to pull everything together. If you need to order items online or commission pieces from another artist, you need to take care of that first. The timing of those items are going to greatly inform what the rest of your schedule looks like. Important note about this part. You want to make sure that you do your building and your practicing at the same time, because you don't want to spend a ton of time building a prop or creating a tearaway costume only to realize that it's not going to work when you finally start to practice. Build and practice in tandem so that you can alter as you go if necessary. So even after you've reached the point where you're confident in your number, you need to keep on practicing. Really, you want to practice to the point that you can kind of go through the performance without even thinking. This is so important for drag performers because anything can happen at a drag show. You want to know that no matter what happens, you're gonna know what you're doing. And now we're at the final part, which is backstage and performance. So personally, I like to check out the stage as soon as I drop my stuff backstage. I highly recommend getting on the stage if you can, to get a feel for the space, also to get an idea of what the lighting is like. You need to make sure to prep your props in advance, set everything up, put them where you need them, because if you forget, like, all of this was for nothing. Which would suck. Also, if there's a stage kitten or a stage manager, you want to make sure to talk with them and let them know of any setup or cleanup you're gonna need. And then finally, it's time for the performance. You've planned, you've practiced, you've worked so hard. The most important thing is to perform. If all of this stuff falls apart, you need to keep on going. Also, the audience isn't going to be able to tell if things don't go according to plan anyway, in most cases, at least. The audience is really just out to have a good time, and at the end of the day, that has to be your main point too. That's it. Looking back over the years, I've found that my best performances are the ones that I thoroughly prepared for in advance. Breaking up the performance process into those 3 separate chunks, brainstorming and planning, building and practice, and then finally backstage and performance, makes the incredibly intimidating process a lot more manageable. When I'm called to the stage and I have those pre-performance jitters, reminding myself that I thoroughly prepared and knowing that I walked through the process step by step by step gives me the confidence to step into the spotlight and put on a really good show. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to apply this thinking, either parts of it or all of it, to your own drag creation process. And definitely please let me know how it goes if you do. If you adopt this thinking, if you liked this video, if you're gonna share this video, let me know, give me a like, please. And if you'd like to hear more of my advice, my tips, see some of my tutorials, hit the subscribe button. Thank you.